Well, hi, and welcome to the portion of our class where we're going to be talking about another letter for the week. Now, yesterday, if you were with me, we talked about the letter J and that it made the sound J, and we made some words with the letter J. Today, we're going to introduce the other letter for the week, and it is the letter Q. This is the uppercase letter Q, the capital. We make it with just a big circle like that, like an O, but we put a little stick kind of poking through it, okay? And then the lowercase q is going to look like this. We're going to circle around, bring a tail down, but instead of going this way like on the G, we're going to go that way. I like to make it with a point. Some people make it like this where it's more rounded. Either one is fine, whatever you prefer, okay? So capital Q, lowercase q. Okay, we're going to write some words that start with Q. So let's see if we know. I'll start with this one, if we know what this is. I know you do. You guys are so smart. Q makes the sound qu, qu. So all of the pictures that I'm going to show you start with the sound qu. So what do we think this is? I know you know it. Her crown gives it away. This is a queen. Qu, qu, queen. So let me put that right here. And I will write queen right underneath it. And there's another thing I forgot to tell you. Now, Q is kind of a shy, little scaredy cat kind of a letter, and he doesn't like to go anywhere without his best friend in the whole wide world, which is the letter U. Q and U are always together. I think they should get married, but that's for another day. Anyway, they are never apart, best friends. So anytime you see a Q, you'll see that U tagging along. So here is Q, U, E, E, N, queen, queen. So there's my Q and U, inseparable, hanging out, told you so. All right, my next Q word that I would like us to look at, this is going to be an easy one too. So this is a coin. We see it all the time. It's the biggest of the coins that we see most of the time. It's worth 25 cents. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It is a quarter. Quarter begins with Q. So let me stick that here. And we can even see it right here. It says $quarter because it's a quarter of a dollar. It's 1/4 of a dollar. So I'm going to write quarter, Q. What comes next? What did I say? Is always with the Q. What letter? The U. Q, U, A, R, T, E, R. Quarter. All right. Next one. This one you might not know, but I bet you've seen one. I bet you probably even have one at your house. We're looking at that blanket, and people usually sew them. Many times they sew them by hand and don't use a machine even, and they take lots of little bits of material and they put them together so they can be different colors, different patterns, and they put it together to make one big blanket, and it is called a quilt. Quilt. And I have a lot of quilts. I'll have to show you some at the end of the week that I have. I have 2 that I know of right now. Okay, so quilt. Q and his buddy U, I, L, T. Quilt. All righty, I have another cool Q word. Now, this is something that we use at the end of if we were going to write a question. So if we were going to say, do you like school? We would put this at the end. Instead of just that period by itself, we add this little curly Q guy at the top, and this is called a question mark. And when you see this at the end of a sentence, then you know that that sentence is asking you a question. Question mark. And I want to make sure we can see this on our video. I'm going to write it down here best I can. Q, U, of course. E, S, T, I, O, N, question mark. 2 words, question mark. There's that Q, U, question mark. All right, my last Q word, because Q words, there's a lot of them, but we don't really know what they mean and we don't use them a lot in daily life. So I tried to pick some that we could actually see. This is a little bird and it is called a quail and it has that funny looking feather up there all the time, which is how you always know it's a quail. So it's a quail. So let me stick that over here so maybe I have a little bit more room. Excuse me. Quail. There it is. See what I told you? Q-U, 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 Q-U. They just can't be broken up. They are stuck together, just like glue. All right, so let's review. We have our capital Q, lowercase q. The sound that Q makes, qu, qu. We hear it in queen, quarter, quilt, question mark, and quail. And it's a very unusual letter and sound because it takes two letter sounds and it puts them together. If ever you see two slanted lines like that and then it has some letters in there, that means the sound. So we know that K says k, k, and we know that W says w. If I put them together, it says qu, qu. So that is the sound of Q. All right, and thank you very much.